What do you guys think of the whole like pickup artists? Have you heard of like the whole pickup artist community?
There's a community for that?
Yeah,
YouTubers who are pickup artists. There's also a guy who's married who's a pickup artist, and there's one video where he made his wife watch his videos with him.
Are you serious?
And it was the most painful video I've ever seen in my life.
What's wrong with people?
Yeah, it was. I think Charlie did a video about it, and it was horrible to watch.
Wait, so explain this like pickup artist community to me.
So it's a community of men, basically, of men. It's kind of an offshoot of, let's say, the guru community that I think there's that's like, you know, you have like the financial bros, you have the
5 ways to please a woman.
Yeah, now you have like
I don't know one.
Yeah, now you have like the pickup artist community, which is kind of that same kind of guru structure, but for lonely guys who want to learn how
So what, do they just like teach you pickup lines?
They teach you how to be aggressive towards women normally. These dudes are just aggressive. They're just, and you know, if you cast
women love that.
If you cast the net out wide enough, you're bound to have some success, right? And that's.
I want to see a pickup artist in that community that just like teaches dudes like just terrible pickup lines that just never work.
All of them do that.
It's like, hey, are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
A lot of them are like, hey, buy my course. You know?
Yeah, a lot of them are just like, here, let me show you how to pick up 10 girls and get a number 90% success rate or some shit like that.
I call this the infinite pussy glitch.
A lot of these guys who are making these videos are conventionally very attractive. So you've already the easiest thing that you can do to increase your chance of landing a date or a pickup is be fucking hot.
Yeah.
Which most of us aren't. You know, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So, you know, the reason why these fucking shitty if a guy who was not attractive and a guy who was very attractive said the same cheesy pickup line, there's going to be two very different results.
I need to see a pickup artist who is a go. Then I'll be more convinced.
It's called Tinder $500 a month.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is swipe crazy.
No, I get, okay. The reason I'm bringing this up, right, is because I want to play devil's advocate, right?
Okay.
Because
you think men need it?
Huh?
We need this?
I think, okay. I guess I've never talked about this before, but
you need it.
Huh?
You needed a pickup artist in your darkest hour.
Hell yeah, I did. Okay, so like I think the whole like pandemic or whatever of like the loneliness, like especially lonely men. I think a big problem is that a lot of guys who, let's say, are in the same situation as, you know, marrying a DS or getting attracted to, or getting very, very addicted to porn, or getting having so much emotional connection to fictional girls or like pay to win. There's so many different ways to offset your loneliness, because at the end of the day, it's easier to do that than it is to learn how to not be lonely, right? And there was like literally a book that changed my life, and it was called The Game by Neil Strauss.
Okay.
And it is literally a book about some like an author, a writer who found himself in the pickup artist community, and I believe he's done a lot of like fucking terrible things now. I don't know what he's done nowadays. I know that he doesn't have the best kind of like reputation now. But at that time, when I was about 16, 17, when I discovered this book, seeing this like story told about the whole pickup artist community and all the techniques that they use and everything like that, what I got out of it was, at the time, I was just a fucking lonely ass guy who did not know how to socialize. And reading that book, it didn't make me fucking aggressive towards girls or anything like that. It just gave me some like training wheels to work with to overcome.
What kind of tips do you feel helped you? Kind of concepts?
Just kind of like icebreakers to like, how do you open up a conversation without
and not
coming
sound
off
creepy?
Yeah. How do you open up a conversation and not sound like a complete asshole or a complete creep? Because I didn't fucking know how to do that.
Fucking Japan.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
This country needs
That's
that.
the thing.
Yeah.
And like, I started off like my university life kind of like going around this, some of like the things that I had read from this book, not as like a complete Bible, but just as a, I don't know what to do in this situation, so let me just follow the fucking flowchart of social interaction to give me like the training wheels. And then from that, after I just experienced the real world, that's what gave me the training wheels to really learn how to socialize. So like, I fucking empathize with a lot of lonely guys out there because I was I was that guy, you know? I did not know how to go about basic social
Okay, but here's the
situations.
question then. If the $500 Tinder thing had come out when you were in that lonely period, when you were 16, 17, would you have
Assuming I was rich?
assuming you had infinite money glitch, would you have done it?
Fuck no. Fuck no. It's like paying for porn.
I'm asking God.
I don't know. Loneliness is fucking painful, man.
It's painful. It is.
That's
Holy
why
shit.
I'm asking this hypothetical.
Hypothetically, I would like to say that if I were, let's say, rich, but
Yeah.
I was fucking lonely
If
as
you
shit.
could afford it.
Yeah, if I could afford
Yeah.
it. I would like to think I would be a better man, but I've been in some, like, I've been in some fucking dark places in my life.
Yeah.
I cannot hold my hand on heart say, yeah, guys, I would be above this shit, you know?
Yeah.
I would be above all of the fucking things that we clown on because holy shit, there is nothing more like depressing than being starved of human connection.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure.
And if you have no one to fucking judge you on your actions, what the fuck are you going to care about, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
exactly
when I-
what this is marketed
When,
to.
I,
Yeah,
when I see a lot of these guys who get very angry online or very, what's the word?
Jaded.
Yeah.
With like interacting. Normally with men approaching women,
Yeah.
it's like 90% of the time when I see these dudes who like feel burnt and I've, you know, for whatever reason, you can see how they interact with women. You're like, oh my God, you just approached a random woman and just started trying to like, you didn't come into this with the same level of interest. Like you immediately are way more into this person than they are into you.
Yeah.
And you got to recognize that energy difference. You got to recognize that like you're on a different level here. And you flat out just shouldn't approach random people a lot of the time. It just doesn't work. That's not how life works. You cannot just see someone who's attractive and approach them. Sure, for some people it might work occasionally, but most people just don't fucking do that.
Which is why I don't get in Japan the whole Nampa culture.
What's the Nampa culture?
Nampa, it's basically like pickup artists, but in Japan. But like you see, if you go to like Shibuya or Shinjuku, any like big city, late at night, you'll see these like pretty young looking dudes, like probably, you know, in their 20s, just fucking walking up to women and being like, Onesa, you wanna go hang out? You wanna go play? I'm like, no, you fucking creepo. Like, no woman with any self-respect is going to be like, oh, yes, random creepy dude that I have no idea about. I'm going to go along and fucking hang out with you.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I look at these guys, like, and they're doing it, like, inside trains and, like, at the train station, out in the street, in stores and stuff like that. And I'm like, when does that ever work? Especially in a country like Japan, where stranger friendliness is close to zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm like, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. And you're making yourself look like an idiot.
I think a lot of dudes don't know when to quit.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really important thing when you're talking to someone is knowing when you're like, you've clearly...
I'm inconveniencing.
You're either inconveniencing them or you've gone too far or maybe you're making someone slightly uncomfortable. Or you can tell they're not interested.
Yeah.
And that's okay. If someone's not interested in talking to you, that is a human thing that everyone is entitled to.
Plenty of fish in the sea, bro. Don't worry.
Well, this is why people get so annoyed. Even if it's like friendship, it's like you are not entitled to someone's friendship. You're not entitled to someone's time. You're not entitled to someone's capacity and emotion.
For sure.
And I get really frustrated when I see this online when dudes are like, "Oh, that fucking woman didn't want to talk to me." It's like, well, yeah, she didn't have to. You approached her.
She doesn't know you anything.
You are not entitled to this.
Yeah,
No one
exactly.
is entitled. And it is a very attractive trait to be like, this person is clearly not vibing with me. I'm going to remove myself from the situation because I'm clearly not very welcome in the situation. Just get out of it. And that's one of the most beneficials you can do as a human being is being able to read that energy and being like, okay, I'm clearly...
You're saving their time and you're saving your own time.
I'm clearly like, I'm done here. Like this is like, and it's okay. You didn't fuck up.
Yeah, it's fine.
You didn't do anything
You don't
wrong.
have to be friends with everyone.
Yeah, you didn't. It's just not a slight on you. You are don't fucking let your pride get in the way. It's okay to sometimes like not be in the correct vibe.
Yeah,
sure.
I think honestly a lot of the example of these guys, unfortunately, they just have not had the right role model to like teach them what the boundaries are, what's like acceptable and or like not acceptable. Because a lot of people are fucking lonely, but not everyone who's lonely is also an asshole and doesn't know what boundaries are, right?
Yeah.
And it's
I
just
think it's a small minority that are these assholes. That do this
yeah,
shit.
unfortunately, it's the most vocal and the ones that get a lot of attention. I mean, it's not just that. It's just like There's a lot of assholes you see on, especially like not just like pickup artists, but what's the latest thing? Like
Themselves.
fucking door-to-door salesmen and shit
Oh my
like that
God,
as
yeah,
well.
Wait, what? Door-to-door salesmen are fucking flirting
They're
with...
back now on TikTok.
Yeah, they're back.
They're back?
Selling like solar panels or other stuff, and like there's dudes who are like, do not leave the property unless you've asked 8 times at their door.
That's harassment.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck?
Yeah, these people.
Yeah.
It's like they're just like the concept is, and this happens in relationships or sales or whatever it is. It's like overwhelm someone to the extent where they don't know what else to do other than to cave into what you say.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole concept behind all of these, whether it be pickups or door-to-door salesmen, just be so intense, so assholey that they can't
say no.
That they're like, they feel the only recourse is to then agree to whatever it is the fuck you're trying to do. Like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll buy your fucking solar panels. Fuck off.
Yeah. It's insane what the culture is like.
That's insane. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fucked.
Again, probably someone selling a course on how to sell. Fuck's sake. Why are there so many people selling courses?
Because it's easy to do.
Courses are a fantastic way of milking someone for money. You can be like, buy step 1, buy step 2.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're nearly at the best club right now. You're nearly at the top tier. It's a trick as old as time. Fucking look at religion. You know, there's a very, very famous religion that I won't say because we don't want to get cease and desist, but that always does it. That does this. They're like, oh, but you need to pay $50,000 for the reading material to go to the next level.
Yeah, courses are easy for a lot of people because you're making a profit without actually delivering or selling anything physical.
They learn from the best universities.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
sell the books. The $200.
Yeah,
Bro,
at
that
the end of
is
the day,
biggest fucking scam of all time, aside from student loans themselves, which is.
What are you gonna do? Read another book? Nope. This is the only book you can read. Like
What if we just pirate the book? Can you do that?
So wait, were you guys forced to buy certain textbooks?
Yeah. But I got in trouble one time. Did I tell you about this? I think I might have mentioned on the podcast. I had my friend bought the book and I asked for it and I printed off all the sheets that I was using.
Yeah.
And I took them into the exam and they told me I couldn't have it because it wasn't the official book. And I'm like, it's the book. It's just in a really shitty format. And they were like, you have to buy the book. And I was like,
oh, because my course,
I'm not buying the fucking book.
my
It's
course,
$200.
you were forced to. I think we only maybe had like 2 textbooks for the entire 3.5 years I was there. And if you didn't buy it, they were kind of just like, I'll just go and buy it eventually. But they weren't like anal about
They
it.
had this. We did engineering, and one of the most important things of engineering was the like the thermal capacity of each material, and they would have a book that they would release each year with like the properties of the materials, and mainly it was the thermal capacity. It was, and every year they would update it, and I was curious. I was like, what's the difference? And between 2 years, it was like 3 materials have been slightly updated because they had better readings. But it was like, I don't feel like this has any bearing on my exam. Like, I don't think that I should be forced to buy the new version every year. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm buying the new fucking version. I didn't have much money. I'm not paying $200 for a book. No fucking way.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd.
Yeah, I'm trying to remembering how, because I didn't have to buy 1. I had to buy 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, that was the main one. But they tried to get me to buy other stuff too. And I was like, I'm not buying that shit.
Oh, fuck, I fell for that shit, man. And
did?
I
like, no, I'm not
use
buying it.
one of those textbooks, I think. And the rest, I kind of... I'm trying to remember how did I learn?
Well, sometimes,
How did I
you
learn?
know,
I
One
learn?
Piece is great. It really taught me a lot about pirating and being a pirate. And I think that I found that very useful.
There
And
is
I-
such thing as a good pirate.
You know, I think that One Piece is a lot of core messages that I took to my university years. You know, but don't ever pirate. It's very bad.
But what was I going to say? Do you think you learned shit in university?
I learned what I didn't want to learn. That's the thing. I always tell people, I'm like, the most valuable thing you can learn sometimes is learning what you don't want in life.
Yeah.
What you know categorically you don't want.
Do you think-
I wouldn't have started YouTube if it wasn't for the stuff I learned at uni.
too.
Because I learned video editing at uni.
Well, I didn't learn that. I fucking had to learn it the hard way.
you learned video editing in university?
Yeah,
I'm
at
fucking
our-
lucky. I learned it
yeah.
myself.
Yeah, me too. Fucking Sony Vegas.
Yeah, Sony
YouTube
Vegas,
tutorials.
and it was all fucking COD tutorials all the time.
No,
Call of
we
Duty.
had Final Cut, and like we were
this
learning
guy,
video editing for one of our courses, and that's when I got interested in making videos.
What'd you learn in video editing? Out of
Just
curiosity.
well, I mean, it was basically just
These are
like
cut, guys.
Well, yeah, honestly, like it was a great way to get my foot in the door. But like
Yeah.
obviously the rest of the shit I had to kind of experiment and learn
Right.
myself. But before
Yeah.
then, like you'd open up Final Cut and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. It's
Yeah.
too much shit. But like I learned like very simple, just like cut, simple effects, all that kind of stuff to like make it look a color correction, all that kind of stuff. And then
Yeah.
the rest of it was just like, okay, I'll just teach myself.